The Secretary of the Interior is sounding a retreat of sorts on the issue of mining and drilling on wilderness lands. I'm Judy Muller reporting on the CBS radio network. Interior Secretary James Watt said Sunday he plans to ask Congress for legislation to forbid drilling or mining in wilderness areas until the year 2000. Speaking on NBC's Meet the Press, Watt said there would be only one condition to the proposal: an urgent national need for natural resources.
The wilderness should be preserved, and that's why the President and I will be asking Congress to preserve it, so that there will be no entry possible, except in urgent national need, through the end of the century, and then we should take a new look at it and make value judgments at that time.
The Wilderness Society called the decision a complete turnaround in Reagan administration policy and said it comes in response to overwhelming public opinion that favors protecting the wilderness. Other environmental groups were more cautious in their reaction, pointing out that while Watt is preserving the areas until the end of the century is only 18 years away. More news in a minute.
Oh, Helen, good morning.
Morning, Joanne.
Here's that report on population shifts all done.
So soon?
Came in bright and early and polished it off.
Well, aren't we the chipper one today?
I feel good. Had a wonderful night's sleep.
What's so surprising about that?
Well, I started out tossing and turning like I do sometimes. You know how it's been around here.
Oh, tell me.
So I decided to compose myself.
Hmm?
I just happen to have a sleeping aid called Compose.
Oh, I've heard of Compose. Does it work?
Absolutely. I felt nice and relaxed and drowsy. You know that heavenly feeling just before you doze off?
Oh, yes.
Slept great. I didn't toss and turn. So I got a good night's sleep, and it's paying off this morning.
You know, Joanne, the next time I have one of those nights, I'll know what to do.
Compose yourself.
You got it.
On those occasional sleepless nights, compose yourself. Take Compose. Don't toss and turn. A good night's sleep pays off next morning. COMPOZ. Use only as directed.
A twin-engine commuter plane caught fire in flight Sunday over Rhode Island and crash-landed on a reservoir covered with ice. Ann Gambionelli of CBS affiliate WEAN reports.
A New Hampshire woman is dead and 10 others hospitalized following the crash of a commuter flight into the reservoir that serves half of Rhode Island. The Pilgrim Airlines Twin Otter went down onto the thick ice after the pilot radioed a fire on board. There were 12, including 2 crew members on that flight. One passenger, Loretta Stanzik, was burned to death in her seat. A survivor of that crash, Dr. Siegfried Kraw, says it took about 5 minutes to get out of the aircraft after it skidded across the ice on impact. He says he saw it coming.
I could see the pilot holding on, trying to, and I took my seatbelt off, number one, and I really didn't know what to do, frankly. And once we landed, I resigned myself that I'm going to meet my maker.
The news of that commuter plane broke off and went through the ice. The pilot and co-pilot were critically injured. That plane, which originated out of New York, was bound for Boston. Ann Gambionelli for CBS News, Providence, Rhode Island.
The nation's governors meeting in Washington have decided they will not separate the issues of President Reagan's new federalism plan and his proposed 1983 budget. The chairman of the National Governors Association, Richard Snelling of Vermont, so the governors have unanimously agreed to take a substantive position on the president's new federalism plan to shift responsibility of some federal programs to the states. A nationwide study financed by the Pentagon shows that young blacks did only half as well as whites in math and verbal tests, while Hispanics scored somewhat better than blacks. According to the Washington Post, the tests were designed to establish a standard against which the Defense Department could measure the quality of recruits in the all-volunteer armed forces. The executive director of the American Association of School Administrators, Dr. Paul Salmon, said in reacting to the Post story that the needs of this country for a viable defense and the behavior of the White House in cutting back funds for education are incompatible. One anonymous Pentagon official stressed that test results in this case did not measure natural intelligence. Now this.
Now that the world is learning how to conserve energy, the demand for oil is cooling off. According to a recent article in the Wall Street Journal, this trend is likely to continue and could result in stable prices and adequate supplies for some time to come. So have a pencil ready for an important offer from the Journal that can help keep you informed of news like this happening anywhere in business that could affect your future and your company's future. Other Wall Street Journal articles revealed the pitfalls of assuming a seller's home mortgage, why electric utility stocks may catch on with investors seeking shelter from taxes, and how the past reveals what we can look for in an economic recovery. The Wall Street Journal. It's all the business news you need when you need it. Right now, you can get 26 weeks of the Journal, one for every business day of the week, for about $1.80 per week. That's just $47 for 26 weeks, about $1.80 per week. So, if you're serious about business in the continental U.S., call toll-free 800-228-6600. That's 800-228-6600. Except in Nebraska. You'll be billed later.
The New York Times, in its Monday edition, reports that a freelance writer has admitted that an article he wrote for the New York Times Magazine about Cambodia was a fabrication. The article, which appeared December 20th, described a trip with Khmer Rouge guerrillas in a remote area of Cambodia. Confronted by a Times editor and 2 correspondents investigating a charge that he had not visited Cambodia last year, writer Christopher Jones admitted he had invented the story without ever leaving his parents' home in Spain. Times executive editor A.M. Rosenthal said, "I regret this whole sad episode and the lapse in our procedures that made it possible." Judy Muller, CBS News.